Okay, we're going to take a look at drawing 11C. Something I totally missed when I assigned it to you is that this is going to be a metric drawing. There's a couple of ways to do this. One is to use the ACAD ISO template, which puts everything in metric. The other way that we can do this is to convert everything to metric. So I have a title block, just a standard 8.5 by 11 title block open. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale this up. So we know the scale factor from standard to metric is 25.4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale my title block. So I'm going to hit scale and I'm going to select all. And then, I didn't get scale there. I'm sorry. Let's see, scale. There we go. Scale. Got everything. Enter. My base point is going to be 0, 0, 0, 0. And my scale factor is going to be 25.4. Oops, how about 25.4? And when I do that, it jumps my title block up a lot bigger than it was. I'm zooming all. If I turn my grid on, you can see my grid's clear down here. But that's all right because we're doing this in metric. Again, there's another way to do it, but for what we're doing right now, this is the way that works best. So I'm going to turn that grid off. I've got to change my line type scale, LT scale, and that is also going to go to 25.4. Keep doing that, 25.4. And then I'm going to go to my dim style manager. So let's go to dim style manager. And let's go to modify. Oh, brought it up over on the other side here. And let's go to fit. Okay, and the scale that we're going to use, we're not going to use 1. We're going to change the scale to 25.4. Okay. And we'll hit OK. We'll hit set current, close. Now when I do a dimension looks like it should. Okay, so now we're going to get started. First thing I'm going to do in my drawing is I'm going to put a note on there. So I'm going to put a note on here. And I'm going to put note. And I'm going to type metric. Now that thing is tiny right there, so let's scale it up. 25.4 times. That looks better. I'm just going to move this in the corner where it's out of the way. Now other than that, I don't have to worry about anything because my drawing is in metric, and we know that all of our drawing information or when we draw in metric is going to be in millimeters. So it's kind of the same using whole numbers. So I'm going to go to my snipping tool again, and I'm going to get a new snipping tool, and I'm going to clip the drawing. I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste it. I'll put that right over here next to it. I'm going to zoom extent so I can see everything. Move over just a little bit. So remember, I'm drawing in metrics now, even though I'm still in inches. I can still use my block, and I can see that my block is 60 by 70 by 45. And I'm going to say, looking at this edge, the 60 edge is going to be the most identifiable. So it's going to start with drawing a line, and that line is, turn my ortho on, it's going to go over 60. It's going to go up 45. Back over 60, and I'm going to hit C for close, and then I'm going to draw my miter line in there. Turn math 8 off, tab over to my angle, make sure it's 45. There it is. I'm going to move my drawing around just a little bit. There we go, give myself a little bit of room. Just like we did last time, I'm going to copy 2 edges, make sure my ortho is on. I know that my right side, my width is 70, so I'm going to offset that 70. I'm going to fillet that. Draw my lines up. Alright, I'm going to have, oops, that line's not in the right spot. And I need to move that in, so I'm just going to move the whole view to the right. Make sure my ortho is on. There we go. I'm going to move everything down. Just make sure it's going to fit on my drawing. There we go. So I've got a line. There's one. There's one. Fillet that out. Get rid of that view and that line and that line. I know that everything in the top view has to fit inside that box. Everything in the front view has to fit inside that box. And everything in the right side view has to fit inside that box. So I'm going to start in the front view, and I can see that this first lip is 10 millimeters. So I'm going to offset this by 10, and then I can see that that's really the only thing I'm going to get. I might be able to get that notch out of there. Okay, so we know that notch comes over 22, down 10. Okay, so let's offset 22 both ways. Offset 10 coming down, and we'll fillet that. And we'll trim out the top. That's a little notch that's out of there. That's about all that I can draw at this point in the front view, because I can't draw this little lip sticking out. I'm going to have to get that from the right side view. So what I do know is that this angle is going to go from that 10 all the way up to the corner. So I'm just going to draw or project my line over. And draw a line from the intersection up to that corner. And then I will fillet this. And I can get rid of that line right there. Now continue with what we know. We know we have a hidden line that's going to show in here. So let's go to our hidden line. And let's draw this edge. There it is. It's going to go right to there. Delete that. So there's that little notch coming through. Now I can see that it's going up on an angle of 10 millimeters. So I'm going to have to draw a line. I'm just drawing a line. And what I'm going to say is perpendicular, P-E-R-P, to that angled surface. So now I know I have a right angle, so I'm going to move that line now. And I can see that it's 10 millimeters up, so I'm just going to offset that 10. It's going to offset parallel. There that bad guy is. And I know it's vertically going to go 16, so I'm going to go back to my object layer. And I'm going to draw a line from the end of that line. I'm going to go up 16. 16.4, there we go. And then back over. Where it intersects is that distance. Notice that distance is not given to us anywhere. So I can get rid of this line and this line. Oops. And I'm going to project that back over into the front view. So I'm going to draw that line over. Draw the front line. Now as I look at this guy, it says that it's 24 inches over from the right, so let's offset that 24 inches. And then it's another 24 inches to the other side. So I'm going to fillet that. There it is. So there's that in the front view. I still don't have it in the top view yet, but there's still more that I need to draw. So let's take a look at this little notch that's out of here. And we know it's over in 22 from each side. So again, let's offset 22. and we'll offset this one here 22. We'll extend those up, trim this one down. Now, we can't see depth in the right side view, but we will be able to see that in the right side view. So as we look at that depth, we can say it's 8 millimeters over. So I'm going to offset this line 8 millimeters, and then I'm going to project from the right side view over to the front view. Then I'll just fillet that. Now, some would think they would have to get rid of this line, but we're still going to see this edge coming all the way down. So this line that we're seeing from this point to this point really is this line. That's what we're seeing. Even though it's not really there, it's really representing this edge. So now we're looking at our features. So I've got all of the features. I got this notch out here. I've got the triangle. I've got the cutout. Okay, so my right side view is done. In my front in my front view, I've got the 10, I've got the triangle on the face, I've got the notch, I've got the cut on top. I just want to verify. That looks a little big to me. That is 8, so that's good. We're going to have to change our units here too, if we were going to dimension this, because in millimeters we don't add the 0.0, so we go right to a millimeter. So I'm going to go to my precision, and I'm just going to go to 1 or 10, even though we're not dimensioning this. So now if I were to put that dimension on there again, 8 millimeters, there it is. Alright, so now I trust that. So now let's draw the top view. So let's start with this little notch right here. So I'm going to bring that notch up. Notice that I bring my lines way past my drawing. I'm not trying to draw perfect. Whenever I draw perfect, a lot of times you'll make mistakes. So there's one half of the notch. There's the other side. Bring it over. Alright, so now we can fill it. Now this time, I'm not going to see any lines behind the notch because I'm looking straight down to the top. So I'll get rid of those guys. I want to get this little notch right here, so we're going to project that up. So I'm just going to, instead of drawing multiple lines, I'm just going to copy from the end perpendicular. Those guys go there. I want to find out how long it is, so I'm going to go to the end. Bring that guy across, so now I can just fill it. Now this line right here stays here because this line represents this back edge here on the bottom, so I'm still going to see it. The last thing that I have left to draw now is just this this triangle, and again I'm just going to bring those up. So I'm going to bring up the bottom, and I'm going to bring up the top. And then I'm just going to copy, this guy up, because even on the top view it's going to look like a rectangle. And I'm not going to see this surface because these two lines are going to be stacked over top of each other. So now I have the completed view of drawing 11C. Now if I were drawing this, I would probably move it around a little bit and kind of space out my drawing, make some extra room. So I could dimension it, because now that I have my drawings done, they don't have to stay the same distance apart. And now I have all of the information I need for my drawing 11C. So I'm going to get rid of that drawing. Delete it. Zoom extents. Change the name of the drawing. The scale is still 1:1 in full. It says it's in metric. The day I turn it in. And this drawing is done. All right, we'll talk to you on the next drawing.